In this edition of Paid to Steal Children, we will be discussing the what-if scenario of legally kidnapping children in America. What if someone told you that children can be taken away from their family? Would you think that has nothing to do with you? What if you heard about a child being taken from a family somewhere in your area? Would you think the family must have done something wrong? What if there were no prosecution of the child's family? Would you wonder why someone is not being prosecuted for a crime? What if you found out that every day in the courthouses across America this scenario takes place? Would you go to the courthouse and sit in a courtroom to watch for injustice? Would you even care or wonder if it could happen to you? So many people did not before it happened to them. Vladimir Lenin once stated that if you destroy the family, you destroy the country. So that statement is one that we should have already been acting upon. Child Protective Service professes to help children in need. To a small degree, that may be true, but there is another side to the work they do. CPS and its contracted agencies are nonprofit, yet there is a large federal funding stream that supports these agencies. It is not uncommon to have staff salaries in the six figures within these CPS contracted agencies. It would seem that the nonprofit agencies would have much lower salaries. After all, most people assume that the bulk of the nonprofit agency income would not be to pay large salaries, but to support those that need assistance from the agency. CPS has become a business supporting over 25 various professions dealing with removing children from biological families. These professions include judges, court personnel, caseworkers, social workers, doctors, nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists, police, prosecutors, lawyers, guardian ad litems, CASA workers, adoption specialists, and the list goes on. All are being supported through the federal funding, and this includes the foster and adoptive families. The funding continues until the child is 18 and sometimes 21. Social Security Title IV provides federal funding to the states of our nation for each child removed from a family. In fact, there are yearly adoption quotas that states must meet in order to qualify for the funding. These quotas grow higher with passing years. In order to remain qualified for the funding, there must continuously be adoptions in higher numbers, and that means there must be child removals from families. The adoptions increase when children are removed from families on allegations that something might possibly happen in the future, or that an investigation has produced some type of neglect. Neglect can range in all directions, such as dirty dishes in the sink, dirty clothes worn to school, laundry not done timely, or the need for assistance with utilities or rent, and the list goes on. The allegations become almost laughable in their scope, yet children are constantly removed, and the families are never prosecuted because there is no crime. There's just a need for another child removal to increase the federal funding to the state. In America, do we really have the tens of thousands of children who are being abused or neglected that our media tells us we do? So much is called neglect when it just may be poverty. It is stated that the CPS agencies find a better family for a child. Is that how we fix poverty?
Not just the 500,000 children in foster care, but of that 500,000, about 100,000 have had their parental rights terminated because the state has decided that reunification is not possible in this case, that children would be harmed irreparably from going back to that family, and so we work to try to find them another family, a better family.
A better family?
What I found is this justice system is about dollars, and it's not about justice.
Therefore, should we now consider parents as breeders for the government to decide who will raise the child? In years past, urban children were taken in higher numbers because they were considered less able financially to resist government intrusion of family. That is no longer true. Children are now being removed from middle and upper class families. So the question arises whether we are supporting the states in our nation on the backs of children by legally kidnapping them. The average citizen is totally unaware of the child removals taking place in our nation. Citizens must wake up to what is happening before there is a knock on their door and they face Child Protective Service abuse of families. Thank you for listening, and remember that when CPS knocks, do not let them in without a warrant, with an actual judicial signature, and not a stamped signature either. Thank you.